The difference between cultural policy and cultural planning, yes. Well, there are two very different things. A cultural policy generally is just a sectoral policy. For example, a policy for literature, for dance, for theater, for film. It is the traditional type of intervention which we have in cities or regions, countries now, to develop artistic and cultural activities in certain areas, to also deal with the problem of distribution of cultural product, of the development of audiences. So you need for this type of policies a person who knows the sector very well, who is enthusiastic about the sector. Cultural planning is a different thing. It's not a way of planning culture, which is impossible, I think possibly dangerous and undesirable. It's more a cultural approach to planning. And by planning, we mean the organization of every type of public policy. We don't just mean town planning, city planning. So cultural planning is essentially about encouraging a culturally sensitive approach to any type of public policy. So you can have a cultural planning approach to physical planning, to economic development strategies, to tourism and place marketing, to youth and social policies. So, which really tries to be culturally sensitive in the sense of being interdisciplinary, in the sense of being innovation-oriented, critical, cultured, so knowledgeable about the cultural expressions and representations of a place, and also open-ended, non-instrumental. So these are some of the principles of cultural planning. It's clear that if you want to be a cultural planner, you need to be curious, you need to be somebody who has a knowledge of the cultural sector, but is also prepared to learn the language of the other policy areas, the other policy professionals, is prepared really to make links, to go beyond the divisions which exist between different city council departments or different professions, the divisions also between the public sector, the private sector, and the voluntary sector. So it's increasingly something which is recognized by cities, which is important. There's horizontal integrating function and strategy, but it's difficult to do because there are always, when you start doing this, there are always jealousies and rivalries between the horizontal integrating function and the vertical sectoral function. So cultural planning experiments often don't last very long, but they can produce a shake-up, a creative shake-up of policymaking in cities.